thank you all for being here today. Hopefully we can impart some insights and knowledge. We've got a great panel today. Let me introduce myself. My name is Gary Occhiogrosso. I am the managing partner for a company called Franchise Growth Solutions. And we are a 4-silo development firm. What I mean by that is we work with franchisors in developing their franchise brands, everything from developing brand voice to concept, the legal work.
Then there's a product called the Audience Network, which is tens of thousands of websites and mobile apps that lease their ad space through this affiliate network. So if that person that we're going after is hardly ever on Facebook, but yet they read a lot of news, or on wallstreetjournal.com, or they listen to Pandora Radio, or maybe their favorite app is Wordscapes. These are all participants in the Audience Network, so we can still target that individual based on where they're spending their time.
Because the franchise sale and the franchise fee is not what you're in it for. You're in it for the royalties.
Your unit level economics, if against anybody not in your category, in your investment range, if you're a $200,000 investment, you got to compare yourself to anybody else that's $200,000, and that return that's coming back to that franchise owner, if it is low and they're not going to make a lot of money, add more money to how much it's going to cost to develop the brand. So the truth is those averages exist so that you can start budgeting on, you want 10 deals next year, at least you can come up with a number and say, I'm going to need $150,000 to spend, and you might do a show, you might do digital, you might use brokers. There's a whole combination that's going to go into that. That will give you a baseline, but the reality is the true number is based on you. It's whatever it costs someone to get into your brand. There's a brand out on the floor right now, Big Blue Swim School. Brand new, three unit chain, starts franchising. Their development budget was $1 million plus for year one. But that's still less than the cost that it would take them to build a swim school. And now they're netting their return because their expectations are in line with what their budget is. So.
You said, well, I got to keep my eye on the prize. What's the prize? Well, there's kind of two levels of the prize. I guess the day-to-day prize is your royalties to kind of keep your company building. But as someone described this morning, it's the kiss at the end. It's when you exit your company, and you will exit your company, one way or another, we'll all exit, but you will exit the company, and the point is, what are you going to be paid for all of that work? And when you look at bringing franchisees on board and you look at the cost of that, if you offset it against the franchise fee, you're going to give up. If you offset it against royalties, you'll get motivated. If you offset it against the kiss at the end, you'll get super motivated, because that's what you're doing.
SEO, or search engine optimization, is a way for you to cash in on your brand equity that already exists. It's built into the backbone of your site, ideally into the technology of your site. It includes things like tagging photos, making sure all of your pages are tagged properly, and it's also based upon the content of your site. Search engine marketing, on the other hand, is a way for you to associate and affiliate your brand with things that are extensions of your brand. It's an opportunity for you to attach yourself to current trends. It's a way for you to kind of navigate some waters and shift direction slightly.
To me, search engine marketing, although it takes a long time to really start to feel the benefits of it, you're out there. And when you've got great content and when you're advertising and spending money, the gods of Google will look down on you with great favor. So that all of a sudden, when people, Google, I'll use Hector's Acai franchises, not only will his paid searches come up, but also his content that might be on his website.
If you don't use the avenue that people actually respond to the most often, because the market will continuously get younger and younger and younger as people such as myself actually start to get capital to begin to buy things, you're going to need to speak to them in the way that they're used to being spoken to. The market is always a moving target. The way that we speak to people is always changing. Communication always changing. But there's always going to be a new form of communication that we use. Perfect example, Facebook and WhatsApp. I don't know if you guys are familiar with WhatsApp, or for those folks in the room that may be international, you certainly are. Facebook and WhatsApp have just announced that they're going to be combining their two messaging services to be one service. So it will be the biggest service that anybody has ever seen in the world. it's really important that you're actually speaking to the people in the way that they want to be spoken to. It's not about you guys anymore, it's about how you market to everybody else.
The best thing, that it's not portals, it's not PR, it is franchisees sell franchises, period. So you make those first ones happy, they will go tell others to buy into the brand, they will get you more franchisees. That costs nothing other than your attention to them.
You know, amazing technology. You've probably heard of geofencing, where you basically could set up a perimeter of a location like the Javits Center and say, I want to advertise to people that are within this vicinity on these given days, knowing that you're capturing the convention goers, that's your ideal audience. Or maybe you're exhibiting, and in the advertising you want to push more people to your booth or to your seminar. And so putting together a geofence campaign so that digitally you're providing even more value for that investment that you made to be there and fly in all your staff and purchase the booth and whatnot, we've found is a great strategy to, again, you know that that's the relevant audience. And then, you know, even if that person doesn't see it while they're there at their event, we can set up retargeting. So weeks later, even when they're home, they're going to start seeing your stuff, you know, pop up on their mobile phone and these different social media digital platforms.
If you took every company that builds a website and it asked them to say, 1, 2, 3, tell us the best practice, it would all be different. If you throw anybody who has an opinion on websites in a room, it's vastly different. So it ultimately turns into most cost effective for you. Do you feel comfortable with your web company? Can they make sure that they're asking the right questions on the form of how the person wants to receive information? Every buyer is the same. Belief in the product. They believe in you guys as leaders. The cost to get into the business and how much they can make makes sense for them, and the franchise validates. Well, that's it. Like if you break down why people buy, that's it.
One thing I'll say as well is I've had people who are a lot more successful than me tell me many times that for some odd reason the franchise space believes that you have to you market on the consumer side and the franchise development side in the exact same way. That is not even remotely true.
Absolutely.
Anybody that tells you that, you should probably stop talking to them and not take their advice anymore. What I would tell you is that you need to ensure that you're being authentic on both sides of the fence, but the message needs to be completely different. And if you are not doing that right now, I would go back to the drawing board.